Jessica Shaw stared at the faces in front of her, thinking most of them were probably dead. Dead, or didn't want to be found. Squinting against the late afternoon California sunshine pouring in through the window, she leaned closer to the MacBook screen for a better look at the photos. There was the missing mom, who'd vanished from her home in the middle of the day. The middle-aged guy, who'd left for work one morning and never arrived at the office. The teenage girl who'd failed to return home after school. There were thousands of other similarly tragic stories, all of the people apparently disappearing into thin air. Dead, or didn't want to be found. The way Jessica saw it, most missing adults fell into these two distinct categories, like a gambler in a Vegas casino, deciding whether to nudge his pile of chips onto black or red. Red, they were probably dead. Black, they might just come back. After 7 years as a private investigator, 5 in New York and the last 2 on the road, she usually had a pretty good idea from the get-go which of those scenarios she was dealing with. Jessica was mentally sorting the faces on the screen into blacks and reds when the waitress's voice broke into her thoughts. She quickly closed the laptop. A diner wasn't the ideal place for this kind of work, but she liked to think of shopping malls, motel rooms, gas station restaurants, hell, anywhere with a decent Wi-Fi connection, as her office. It made her feel like she was really working and not just running away. Today's office was a small diner in Simi Valley, a pleasant, medium-sized city tucked into the southeast corner of Ventura County. 30 miles from downtown Los Angeles, it was best known as the venue for the Rodney King trial in '92, and then as the final resting place of Ronald Reagan 12 years later. Jessica didn't know it just yet, but it was also the place where her life was about to change forever. She'd never visited this particular diner before, but she had been to diners just like this one a million times. A low-budget, low-expectation establishment. High stools in front of a sticky counter. Day-old donuts displayed in a glass case dotted with eager fingerprint smudges. Waitresses wearing powder blue uniforms and white tennis shoes, and forced smiles while handing out coffee refills. One of those waitresses was hovering over her now. "What are you having?" The waitress tapped a crimson acrylic nail impatiently against her notepad, as though she had someplace more important to be. Jessica had looked at the menu, with its gaudy, hand-drawn cartoons of pizzas and burgers and white clean laminate plastic, just long enough to locate the Wi-Fi code and fire up the laptop. Glancing at it again now, she saw a hardened, eggy glop covered the appetizers. So much for wipe clean. It was a late lunch, the best part of the day having been spent packing up her things, ready to move on again. Maybe LA this time, or San Francisco, or San Diego. She ordered a grilled cheese sandwich and black coffee, hoping the sandwich was on the menu, despite not having its own cartoon. She didn't want to have to ask the waitress for a few more minutes to decide. This was Donnie's diner, not the goddamn Ritz. 5 minutes for the sandwich, the waitress said. "I'll go get the coffee now." Jessica flipped the laptop screen back up and peered over it at the woman while she busied herself making the drink. She was a straight-from-the-bottle redhead in her late 40s, whose name was Nancy, according to the plastic tag that hung at a lopsided angle and seemed to deliberately point at her heaving bosom. Nancy's breasts looked real, despite the close proximity to Tinseltown and its plastic surgeons, but still managed to look porny as they strained to escape from the one-size-too-small uniform.